Everybody, this is Todd Frazee, and this is the S60-125 CAD for the rocker arm. This is a prismatic part. You're just going to do an extrusion, and you should be able to set this up with a minimal number of features. Um, this could have been earlier in the coursework, but I figured we'd come back and you should be able to knock this one out pretty quick. Along with your other assignments that you have this week. Okay, so let's go to our drawing, and it's set up so that the dimensioning, it's symmetrical along center line. So this is one of the few cases where I generally don't like to do mirroring with sketches, but this one, it's quite appropriate. We have a varying sizes of loose tolerance holes. They're really just lightening holes to make the part lighter without reducing its strength very much. And then we have some through holes that are 16th. So the only thing we can't mirror is basically this hole in the center. So what we'll do is we'll set up probably the left half and mirror it over onto the right half. And then after we've done that, we'll add the hole in the center and probably do the fillets on the outside as solid fillets and call it done. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go a little faster because you should be more familiar with SolidWorks by now. We're going to minimize it. We're going to go to SolidWorks. We're going to create a new folder file. We're going to hit OK. OK, and we're going to do we're going to save our file, and it's the 125 Rev 1. Gonna steal the name of another part there. Okay, and let's make our planes visible. And we're going to go into sketch mode in the front plane. And as usual, we're going to view that front plane. Alright, so first I'm going to draw a center line. And that center line is going to go coincident vertically with the plane that intersects vertically with this plane. And then we're going to draw the perimeter of the part roughly. So let's look at what we have to do. So we have, we're going to start here. We're going to go out, we're going to jog up, we're going to have an angle. We're going to jog down, we have another flat. Then we have a radius, and then we have an angle back to a plane that we're going to use as our mirror plane because everything comes off center here. All right, so let's try to do that. We're going to go back to SolidWorks, and so we're going to start off at center, come over, go straight up. We're going to intentionally go at an angle. We're going to go straight down. We're going to go to the left, and then we're going to make an arc. And we're going to bring that over past center. And then we're going to go back to the center line with a line. Now we need to go back and make this arc tangent, because mine didn't pick that up. And this was actually supposed to be at an angle, so if you get a horizontal relationship you didn't intend like I did, go back and delete it, and then drag this at an extreme angle. You want a horizontal on this one and this one, and we're going to leave where this radius is alone for the moment. Alright, let's start throwing dimensions on it. So we're going to go back here, and on our arc it's 100 thousandths. So I'm going to go ahead and dimension that as 0.1. This side of the arc actually is not tangent. So if you get a tangent relationship there, remove it and move over the radius so it's obviously not tangent. Alright, so now I'm going to highlight the center of that radius, hold the control key down, and highlight the center line, and we're going to make that coincident to shovel that up to where it should be. All right, got the radius established. Now let's start from the inside out. We're looking at a dimension here, which from our drawing is 240 thousandths. Okay, and then we have a dimension from this line back to origin, and that dimension in our drawing is 1 inch 120 thousandths. And then our next dimension is from origin to the center of the arc that makes up the outside radius. And that dimension is 1 inch 260 thousandths. It's getting a little distorted because we haven't put any vertical dimensions in. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start putting vertical dimensions in. So from baseline to the top edge, we have 180 thousandths. Oops, I must have had something selected I didn't want. Okay, so that doesn't look like a part because this line is obviously too high. So let's put in that dimension from there to base. And that dimension is 2 times 100 thousandths. And we're going to make the endpoint coincident with that line. And it puts the proper angle on it. Okay, now the dimension from this landing to the end, the base, is 2 times 60 thousandths, 0.06. And then we need the dimension from the point here to center line, which according to our drawing is 2 times 200 thousandths. Alright, so we have basically all of the left outside profile defined. Now we want to put in the holes. So we're going to have a hole right on concentric to the arc, and then we have varying hole sizes of 1, 2, 3, 4 varying hole sizes that we need to add. So we're going to put them right on. Try to avoid getting any automatic relationships other than it's coincident with this plane here. So 2, 3, and the last one's 4. Okay, they're all on center line here, but they're all different diameters and they have all differences from center. So let's put our distances from center on first. We're going to start with the one farthest away. So we're going from center line to the 4th hole. And we're going to reference our drawing. And that distance is 1 inch and 60 thousandths. And then our second hole is 870 thousandths. And then our next hole is 640 thousandths. And our last, and what will end up being our largest hole, is 350 thousandths. Alright, so now we're going to go through and put our diameters on. So here we've got a hole that is 63 to 65, so we're going to make that a 64 thousandths hole. Okay, the next one, according to the drawing, is 120 thousandths. The next one is 150 thousandths. The next one is 190 thousandths. And the largest one is 240 thousandths. Alright, so we've got all of our lines, arcs, and circles defined, the outside perimeter defined. Now, what we want to do is we're going to do a mirror of this. So we're going to go to Mirror Entities, and we're going to mirror everything except for the center line. And our mirror about line is the center line. So we should have a preview on the right hand side in yellow. And we're going to hit accept. And we should get a series of gray boundaries. Okay, let's accept that boundary, and it should be fully constrained. And we're going to highlight it and look at it in a 3D view. Now we're going to go to Features, Extruded Base. We're going to do it based off a mid-plane. And then we're going to put in our thickness based off the drawing. So the drawing has a thickness of 630 thousandths. I'm sorry, 63 thousandths. And we're going to hit accept. Alright. So, if we were to hide all our planes, which we've gotten pretty busy on here, there's our part. Now the only features left are some very small rounds and fillets. So we're going to go fillet, and they're 0.01s, I believe, according to the drawing, 10 thou. No, it's 20 thou 8 times. So 20. We're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, 8. There we go. We're going to accept that, and we've got all our fillets there. And now, actually, there is one more feature. We need to put one more hole in the center, and it's the same diameter as these ones on the outside. And for the purposes of that, I am going to turn back on our planes. And we're going to go sketch. And we're going to sketch on the front of the part. And we're going to sketch a circle on origin. And then we are going to accept that circle, and we're going to highlight the circle, and with the control key down, we want to pick on the edge of one of the circles, preferably the one that was created first in the mirror, and we're going to make it equal in size. So now it shrunk its size down and defined it. And we are left with a sketch that should be fully constrained. So let's see here. We not have this tied down. It looks okay. Okay, so I'm going to rebuild, and we're going to go back into edit the sketch. And it appears to be fully constrained now. Okay. All right. So we're going to go features. We're going to have our sketch highlighted, and you're going to do an extruded cut. And it's going to go through all. And let's accept that. Okay. So we're going to save the part. One thing I do, order operations, I like to have the fillets last. And so since there's no relationship between them, I'm going to drag the fillet feature to occur in the tree after the hole there. So if for some reason you want to suppress it, you can pull up just those fillets, cut the part square, and then or show them. Provided there aren't any relationships between references, you can change the order in which the operations are made. So obviously you can't put an extruded cut through a piece that the boss base feature isn't created first. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the tutorial for the Dash 125. Hopefully that was a fun one for you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot.